that I'm out there reaching out, and that I hope that my footage is better than it was the last time I tried to go live. So I'm just gonna hang out here for a few minutes and wait for people to see me and come on. But we're gonna do a quick um, live right now just so I can show you a few things that have bloomed since I last saw you. And waiting for people to come on. We'll just do a quick tour. One of my issues with doing a live is my dog very is very engaging, and she wants to be part of everything I do, and she's pretty persistent. So I hope that that's not going to be an issue while I try to give you a little tour of my garden. I see that there's someone out there. Thank you so much for joining me. My channel's small, so if you could, and you're not subscribed, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. And I have a small garden and a flower shop that I operate and I run from my home, from my studio here at Gracegarden. And it's so beautiful in the garden that I really just want to share it. And I want to share my love of creation and nature with everyone out there. So we're just going to do a regular What's Blooming Now episode, because this will end up getting posted to my channel after I'm done. And since last time we met, this lovely dogwood has opened all of its tiny buds. And they just really opened late yesterday afternoon because it was very warm yesterday. And so they're not fully open, they're still cupped. But these bloom for a very long time, and they make this corner such a destination when you're down in the garden. So let's take a walk and look at things from down at the garden level. My daffodils are finished. If you look at them close up, they're not very pretty. So that part of the season is over. And my cherry tree is pretty done too. But there's other cool things to look at in the garden. I have dog food in my pocket that I'm throwing down on the ground as I go to keep Freya occupied a little bit, but she is really wanting me to throw that ball. But here, down along the ground, are just covered with tiny violets. And these, I don't know why the deer leave this one patch of tulips alone, but this has been here for a long time. And I'm so thankful that the deer leave that one little patch of tulips. And here, this is a flowering almond tree. It's a very tiny shrub. It was here on the property, growing in a very shady spot when I moved here, and I dug it up and have been carefully treating it with care and respect so that I don't lose this tiny shrub. And this is what it does, and then it just is a little tiny bush the rest of the year. But it is so sweet, and I really do love it. But that's my flowering almond that is ancient and part of the property. These are usually the last daffodils to bloom, this little spot, because it's a little shady here on this end of my garden. And I have a few more spring flowers over here to share with you. Last week I showed you this area, and the peonies were very small, and now look at how much they have leafed out in just 1 week, because we've had temperatures in the 70s, 80s actually. We hit 80, 88 yesterday, I think. So things are really flowering through here. This is a daffodil called Salome. It's supposed to be pink. It has a little bit of a rosy color to it, but it's not as pink as it is advertised to be. That's a pile that's been there for quite a while. Just a couple of bulbs that I planted, and it's that big pile now. And the other thing I wanted to share with you, well, there's a couple things actually. One of them are bleeding hearts that I have over here. This is all going to be ferns soon, and they're just starting to come up. But over here, I have bleeding hearts. These came from my mother's garden when I first moved here. Oh, sorry about that. That is my dog just knocking me over. But these bleeding hearts were in my mother's garden, and she said I could take some here when I moved. And they're all around now. And accidentally I dug up some Menton tulips. If you ever want tulips to bloom at the same time as bleeding hearts, and they're the same color as bleeding hearts, get Menton tulips. But alas, all that's left is the bleeding hearts because the deer ate all the tulips. But there's my bleeding hearts. And ooh, we're gonna have very great scented flowers from that soon. And I have my gladiolas that I've been storing. I have to go through the bulbs, divide them up, and take them off their foliage and plant them. They've been in my basement. And my pile of dahlias that I have to plant. And I really meant to have all of this done for you for today to show you my great progress, but I didn't get to do it. But I did promise that I was going to show you this Virginia bluebells plant. Last week it was just little tiny balloons of buds, and now they're these sweet little flowers. I don't know how good the footage is in a live as when I take a snapshot, but they don't have a scent. They're very quiet, peaceful little flowers, and I love them very much. And my other bunch here, this is a hydrangea that I moved, and I don't even think, oh wait a second, yes, it made it. It survived. So I have to trim back this old wood, and it's gonna come back for me. But that's pretty much the tour that I wanted to give you, that I wanted to share with you. Not a very long episode, other than showing you that my lawnmower is not working anymore. So this week I have to buy a lawnmower and mow what's left. There's big patches where Freya likes to dig, but this other stuff I need to mow. And I'm deciding whether I want to plant more grass or whether I just want to spread wood chips and make a path. So if you have any ideas about paths, or whether I should bother trying to plant grass where the dog constantly wants to dig right there, or if there's a way for me to give her a place to dig on purpose that she can enjoy that, because she really does love to dig, let me know. Let me know if you've conquered that in your garden, or if you have the same problem. Here's a couple more peonies. These are Festiva maximas, and this is, I think it's called a Carl Ronstadt. That's a bright pink one, and some weeding I have to do, and I have to fix my fence. I've been working on that for a while. I'm thankful that it's got my yard enclosed at least, and my dog won't run away. But oh, and the lilacs are blooming. Just started. just the tiniest little bit of buds opening. And there's only the littlest whiff of a fragrance from that. So they're not really fully opened yet. And another thing that's not really fully open yet, other than this viburnum that we already looked at, is this crab apple. It's just starting to get the tiniest tinge of color here. So I guess there was a lot blooming in the garden that I didn't realize. I guess there was a lot more blooming than I thought. Walking around taking stock with you was really awesome. Thank you for all coming along with me. And I will see you again soon from the garden. There's another video posting tonight of a hike that I went on that's really, really excellent. So make sure that you're subscribed so you can see that when it posts at midnight tonight. And until next time, whether we meet here in the garden or off on some adventure somewhere, bye for now. Thank you so much for being with me. I really appreciate my subscribers. I do pray for you all, and I'm thankful that you come along with me and are part of my community. I have a handful of but she's figured me out. She's not even really interested in the food. Well, until next episode, thank you again for being with me. Bye for now.